Hey there, Champz. I'm Morik, and today's video is going to be exclusively about earning in the Web3 game Champz. We have some pretty incredible stats, like 105 ETH paid to players in just 319 days, but how much of that does the little guy get? Two of the most common questions I see from new players in the Discord and Telegram are, how much can I make playing Champz each day, and what should I do to optimize my in-game earnings? These are some pretty tough questions to answer because factors such as token holdings and number of NFTs can change the answer quite dramatically. But today, I'm going to show you what I believe to be the ideal strategy for a Minnow. And I am defining a Minnow as somebody with 2 or less NFTs and 50,000 or fewer tokens. I'm going to be running through some math with you today, so I hope you like Excel sheets. If you don't, there will be a short summary at the end, and you could skip to that to find out. But let's get into it. The 4 ways that you can earn from playing Champz are going to be questing, burning in the daily Spore raffle, trading, and through blessings. As a Minnow, though, you can only really count on trading and burning for consistent returns. Approaching the burns mathematically, we're going to dig into this. I have my list of assumptions up the top here. I am saying ETH is at 3,000 just because it makes the numbers nice and round. You hold no Champz. There are 150 people burning in the raffle every day. And that if you have 1 NFT, you're making 100 spores a day. But if you have 2 NFTs, you are making 10,000 spores a day. I got these numbers because with 1 NFT, that's around a level 7 mushroom, and you'll be getting 100 spores a day. But if you want level 7, you can sell any common item drop you get on the market, and you should be able to get around 1,000 spores for it. However, 2 NFTs has a massive jump in the spores per day, because when you have 2 NFTs, you're able to fight in PvP, and the new daily loot boxes that have been added will pay you a bunch of spores. I think the average for me is around 15,000 a day. I was lowballing it here, just to be safe on my calculation side. So I have these 3 boxes here where I calculate the odds of winning if you burn in the top 2, which is very tough to do. It's a high spore cost, 900,000. Top 25, I suggest 50,000, but I have the average, or I guess I have all of the data for the past week. The average was 27,560, and the max was 33,888. I'm saying you should only burn if you have 50,000 to get into the top 25. And then this is the anyone category where you're burning 100 spores and you're getting entered into the raffle. So I have your odds of winning here, and you might be a little confused because if there's the top 2, you got 50-50 odds of winning. But here I got 59% because if you don't win in the top 2 draw, you get entered into the top 25 draw, and then you get entered into the anyone draw. So what I found is that essentially anytime you can make it to a top 2 burn, it's worth $8.95. A top 25 burn, you can expect to make about $1.45. And for anyone who's burning 100 spores, it's around a 20-cent value each time you can make it there. But keep in mind, these are expected values. Each day, only 5 people will get $15 in truffles. But over time, if you keep burning, your returns should reach these averages based on the different categories of burning. What I find is that if you have 1 NFT, you're probably going to be stuck in the anyone category every single day. So you're going to get 7 100 spore burns every week. Your daily value is going to be the same as the expected daily value over here, about 20 cents. But if you get 2 NFTs, you can commit to doing 1 top 25 burn every week from utilizing your PvP rewards. This boosts your expected daily returns 18 cents up to a total of 38 cents. And this is just from the spore burn. There are other ways to earn in this game. But the big takeaway here is that you should not be trying for a top 2 spot if you are a Minnow. The amount of spores it costs to get an entry here is about 18 times what it would be to get into a top 25 raffle, but it only pays you around 6 times as much. So just go for a top 25 anytime you can. It'll get you more money in the long run. The second way to earn is through trading. Now, this is where they recently added a truffle marketplace into the game. Truffles are the in-game currency that are directly convertible into Ethereum. This is going to be the bread and butter of where Minnow makes their money. It is probably only going to be worth it for you, though, if you have 2 NFTs. A single mushroom fighting is unlikely to find enough loot to get anything worth selling. But 2 NFTs, as I mentioned previously, gives you access to the daily PvP loot boxes. Now, the devs are probably going to hate me for saying this, but 90% of the stuff from these loot boxes are absolutely useless. However, the 10% that is good is really good. Now, when I say it's really good, I mean you're making more than just cents. It's dollars or even tens of dollars for each item. The 3 types of chests are common, uncommon, and rare. And it's tough for me to put a number on how many truffles or ETH or spores you will make from the items inside. So I'm not. I'm going to treat my calculations as if none of those items drop. I'm only going to look at what is fixed and easily trackable, and that is consumables. Specifically, the legendary consumable. It is the only one in the game right now, and it is called an Essence of Unicorn. Right now, they're selling for 4,000 truffles each on the marketplace, which comes out to about $1.20. However, anytime you get a Essence of Unicorn from a PvP chest, you'll get 3 of them, which is equivalent to $3.60. So, I calculated the odds for each different chest here of getting a legendary consumable drop. And if you have a common PvP chest, the expected value in Essence of Unicorn is going to be 72 cents. For an uncommon PvP chest, it's $1.08. And for the rare PvP chest, it is $1.26. Now, that is just the 2 Essence slots. The gear that drops from there can be worth big money too, but like I said, not all of it is super valuable. I'm not going to calculate those out because I don't know the exact drop rates of the different varieties that can drop from a chest. However, the keywords to look for to know if you have something that is sellable are cursed, purified, doomed, unicorn, trident, and to a lesser extent, coffee beans. If you have any of those items, I would check the marketplace, see what the going rate is, and put your item up for sale. I would say if you have anything that is a rare or below version, then you should sell it on the Spore marketplace, and then you could take those spores and do more of the top 25 burn raffles. For magic and epic versions, though, you can probably sell them for truffles, and that is just ETH directly into your pocket. So with just considering burning and trading, a single NFT account is making 20 cents a day. However, an account with 2 NFTs boosts that way up to $1.40 each day. Now, the next methods of earning are going to have very small returns, but I'm going to cover them just for completeness. The first one is going to be questing. Every day you will get 3 quests, and if you have no champs, they will pay you 100 truffles each. That's about 3 cents per quest, which most days you probably won't be able to complete them all. Maybe you get one done, maybe you don't. If you have 50,000 champs, the very difficult quests will end up paying you about 200 truffles. But with so few NFTs, once again, you can't complete them consistently every day. So I'm not even going to add this to the running tally. The bonus gains are negligible. However, I will provide you advice on how I think is best to manage your quests. You should accept and hold on to anything that says defeat, fight, forge, or forage. The first 3, defeat, fight, and forage, you can do just by doing daily fights in-game, beating enemies, and getting loot. The fourth one, forage, is done by foraging. But you don't want to use all of your AP to forage. You want to do 9 fights, and then with your final AP, you send your mushroom to forage. Then, if you have a common PvP quest, you want to use your 1 daily reroll to try and reroll that into either an uncommon PvP chest or a rare PvP chest. I would say if you have uncommon or rare, don't use your reroll there. Instead, use your reroll to try to switch an explore, die, or heal quest into a fighting-based quest. This strategy is mostly focusing on fighting because compared to exploring, you'll get more loot which you can sell for spores or truffles, and you can get blessings. The blessings are very rare, and I calculate the expected returns for the 3 type of minnows below. So I always say it's about 1 in 10,000 odds of getting a blessing, but that's not quite true. If you have fewer than 50,000 champs, the odds of winning a blessing are actually halved. So for a person with 1 NFT and 0 champs, it'll take them 20,000 battles approximately to get a blessing. I don't know this number, that's just my guess from personal experience. With 10 battles a day, and assuming that you get the most common blessing, which is sized at 0.02 ETH, or around $60 for that blessing, you're only going to be making 3 cents a day from this blessing. If you have 2 NFTs, it doubles the expected value, so you're going to be making 6 cents a day. However, if you have 2 NFTs and you have 50,000 champs, then your dollar value per day is going to be about 12 cents, which is starting to become somewhat significant. So if we take the previous value of earnings from burning and from trading, and we add the blessings in, that'll bring the grand total up to $1.52 per day if you have 2 Champz NFTs and 50,000 Champz tokens, which is pretty great. And it's important to remember that that is without considering the item drops from fights or from PvP chests. So a quick summary of my findings would be: get 2 NFTs. That will give you access to the daily PvP chest, which pushes your expected earnings from around 20 cents a day to over $1.50 per day. Sell what you don't need and make sure you use your spores to do more burn raffles, and when possible, go for a top 25 win. Quests and blessings won't make much of a difference, but I think focusing on fighting is still the best way to go. I will be making more guides like this in the future for mid-size accounts and whales very soon.